argued that because he's great at making deals, he would sit down and make deals with anyone. So I think we don't know, because he's his own expert. He doesn't have this cadre of foreign policy advisors that are known quantity. He has no really well-organized, detailed, thought-out position on foreign policy issues. He has attitude. So what he would actually do as president, I think we don't know. Now, we have lots of examples of where as you're right, U.S. has used economic sanctions. The reason we used economic sanctions is because that was obviously a better thing to do than military action for lots of reasons. And in many cases, economic sanctions are not successful if we just do them by ourselves. The one example where they were successful is when we actually got Russia and China to do them with us, and that was with Iran. Because those sanctions, because they were pretty much enforced locally, there's a fair amount of evidence that the people who run Iran felt the pinch. So did the people in Iran, which was an unfortunate part of it, but that's the situation. And it was because of the economic sanctions that Iran was then willing to engage in the negotiations over nuclear issue. And President Obama, I think he's been criticized for that, because now he's lifting sanctions in a staged way, and that's going to help the Iranian economy. And there's a lot of argument now that you've dropped the sanctions. What are they going to do with that money? Are they just going to, use it to support Hezbollah or the Iranian Revolutionary Guard? We don't know. But he decided, and I would agree with him, so did Ms. Clinton, that that was better than going to war with Iran over their nuclear facilities. So that was successful. The economic sanctions on the leadership of Russia that have been very targeted have not been, particularly successful at changing Putin's behavior. So I think in general, economic sanctions have a limited use, except when you can have the major players, the EU, Russia, and China all agree. And that's what was the case in Iran, and that's why they were effective. But I think it's always better to use economic sanctions than to go in and start a war. That should be the last resort.
We'll take one last question. You at the
Yes,
you in the corner.
I'm sorry, I'm not well.
Okay, go.
I hope you do hear me. I'm
Yeah.
DC branches.